Hi students, today I will discuss the last part of Cold War era that already I have discussed 5 parts. So you better go through the parts and read the chapter. You will get extensive knowledge about that. Today is the last part, that Cold War era. In the Cold War era, the role of India. So India, as you already we have already discussed that India went for the non-alignment movement, and this non-alignment movement served India's interest in two ways. Number one, because of this non-alignment movement, India raised its voice in front of the world and proved that India's independent existence. One point. Second, because of this non-alignment movement, India could easily keep one distance between the two superpowers, and that also somehow maintained the balance of power between the two superpowers. So from that point of view, India and its non-alignment policy played a very vital role in the Cold War era, and saved, you can say also, it saved the world from being facing the Third World War. But in some of the areas, the non-alignment movement of India has been criticized. Basically on two grounds. Some of the critics, they tell India sometimes their policy of non-alignment was unprincipled, because in some of the areas that India had already promised with the policy of non-alignment that they will interfere in the rivalry of superpowers and they will try to solve the problem. But in some of the areas we have seen, according to the critics, that India did not take that much initiative to stop that particular crisis. One criticism. Second criticism is that some of the critics, they tell India's non-aligned movement is also unprincipled. Why unprincipled? Or you can say India could not keep its policy of non-alignment as it was supposed to be. Why? Because the critics are telling that India had made a 20-year agreement with the USSR at the time of the India-Pakistan war for the creation of Bangladesh. So on the basis of that, some of the critics are telling India is not able to keep its promise of non-alignment, that India will not go with the USSR or the USA. But from the Indian point of view, from the Indian people, from the Indian diplomats, it has been told it was only one military agreement. There was nothing to do with the political agreement or like that. So from that point of view, we cannot say that non-alignment was unprincipled. But yes, one thing is to be discussed over here, that I should tell you that after the finishing of the Cold War in 1991, somehow the importance of non-alignment has been dropped down, but still non-alignment is alive, non-alignment movement is alive, and in the second chapter we will discuss some part of this movement. Thank you very much. Follow my video, all the 6 parts, whatever I have discussed, and I think I will get extensive knowledge about this particular chapter. So first chapter is over. In the next video I will cover up the second chapter, and the second chapter will be also discussed in this type of in this ways, that first part, second part, third part, or like that, so that each and every point we can discuss in a nutshell. Thank you very much. Watch the video.